The Biggest Loser is known for some of the craziest body transformations ever. In just a 6.5-month period, several winning contestants have lost 100, 150, and even over 200 pounds. This guy has never lost weight. I'm not sure why his picture showed up here, but after the show is over, the winners hardly ever stay fit. Basically, they're like a David Goggins rental because after some motivational speeches following the end of the show, within a few years, most of them regain all the weight back, if not a little bit extra. A study looking at 14 contestants losing an average of 130 pounds shows that only one contestant kept the weight off. 5 completely reverted to their original shape, which was a circle, and the rest regained 80% of their lost weight. As it turns out, $250,000 must buy a lot of honey buns. But how did these contestants even lose 200 pounds in 30 weeks, and why did nearly every single person put the weight back on? I did season 8 winner Danny Cahill's 240-pound weight loss routine myself to find out. Waking up at 5 a.m., I went straight to my bathroom to freshen up and get my starting weight. I've always wanted to do a Biggest Loser style weigh-in on the channel, so this was fun.
Wow.
Hey, don't give me that look, Jillian. And now, Danny Cahill would start off each day by getting in a 45-minute run before the sun even rose. So, it's 5:30, I'll meet you guys at the park. I feel like I should probably pace myself because this is like 10% or less of what this guy does in a day. He's a freak. He was David Goggins before David Goggins. All right, guys, first run complete. Just finished a modest 2.5 miles. I think that's pretty good for a first workout, but I am working up an appetite, and luckily this is where Danny eats his breakfast. So I'll meet you in my kitchen. I have 6 ender pearls in my inventory, so let me just go ahead and roll down my window and... Oh shit, dude, it got stuck on this sign. Let me try again. Now, after that run, it's time for a replenishing breakfast of 1 egg, 2 egg whites, half a grapefruit, and a piece of sprouted grain toast. This comes out to 200 calories. I did the math, which means this breakfast is actually smaller than a Mr. Beast lunchly, but I suppose at least it's something. This toast has absolutely nothing on it. It has no butter. That tastes about how you'd expect. If I had to eat this breakfast every single day for 6.5 months straight, I think I would do something illegal on purpose to get sent to federal prison because I guarantee their breakfasts are better than this. Grapefruits are so unbelievably mid. Anyways, after his breakfast, the next thing on his itinerary is to go on another 45-minute run. So the exact same thing I just did. Now, after this, I do get 40 minutes of rest. Man, what a way to start Monday morning. And we're just getting started. We have so much more for the rest of the day. I'm gonna go home and get some electrolytes and relax before my next workout. So let's go ahead and see if this time I can get it first try. Whoa, guys, I did it this time. I think the only difference is that this time I threw the ender pearl with my left hand, and that one is a little bit stronger. I also somehow lost my shirt in the process. I'm not really sure how that happened. After this, I got another 20 minutes to rest before getting back to work on my next workout task. So at this point in the day, Danny rode his bike 9 miles to the gym. And with this, I have a few issues. For one, and the most obvious issue, is that this is an electric bike. I have a regular cruiser, the front tire is busted, but using an e-bike isn't true to Danny's routine either because this has pedal assist, which obviously makes riding the bike easier. I considered a few ways of working around this. First, I could simply turn off pedal assist entirely, but then it becomes way too hard to pedal the bike due to its ridiculous weight. So I experimented with the lowest assist speed, and it did feel very similar to riding a regular bike in terms of difficulty, but I still felt like it was possible that I had an advantage. So to clear all doubt about this being cheating, I decided to add an additional 3 miles to each bike ride for a total of 12 miles. The other issue is that Danny actually rode his bike to the gym. If I could even make it to my gym without getting hit by a car, this thing would definitely get stolen. I'm not risking it. So I'm gonna ride this bike 12 miles, I'm gonna ride it home, and then I'm gonna get in my car and go to the gym, and then when I'm done with that, I have to come back and do another 12 miles on this bicycle. But don't worry, guys, because after this, there is still more that Danny does during the day. Danny is a freak. I'm just gonna say that. Danny's a freak. I I don't think I could have picked a worse day. I don't think the weather has been this bad in about a month. But just like the first time I had sex, this bike ride ended fast and unexpectedly. This bike's dead. And my phone just died as well. This is not Clash of Clans. I cannot call in reinforcements. Kind of a big oversight on my part, not checking to make sure that the battery was fully charged before we took off. I only made it 7 miles. That means I have 5 miles to go now. And then after the gym, an additional 12 that my bicycle will be dead for. I was already making terrible time, and I decided to end the challenge and come back in 2 days to reattempt it with a new strategy. 2 days later, I woke up, did the same stupid hour and a half of cardio in the morning, ate the same stupid breakfast.
This is so bad.
And we are back. We are now at the same spot that we left off last time we tried this challenge. So at this point now, Danny would go on a 9-mile bike ride before he goes to the gym. My solution is right behind me. Ha 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 ha. It's a ripstick. I grew up with this. The ripstick is a board that's similar to a skateboard, but you have to move your shoulders and hips to ride it. Getting the hang of it. That's a bag of dog poop. Guys, I used to ride this thing when I was 12. I don't know how I did it so easily. I'm 23 now and I'm struggling. I think we got it. I don't know what pace I would call this. Maybe 4 miles an hour. So this could be a 2-hour endeavor. I got it to an average of 4 to 5 miles per hour. Maybe that's because I'm not good. I haven't touched it in 10 years. Kickoff. The kickoff is the hardest part. And then it's gaining speed. Once you're on it, that's the hard part. You gotta just wiggle. Like I said, I'm like a TikToker right now. I'm shaking my butt on Instagram live. All right, as you can see, 4.53. I finally can turn around. We're halfway through. I'm 1 hour and 18 minutes in. I joked about this being a 2-hour ride, but it's actually gonna be longer. This is crazy, dude. Bro, we got ops. We got ops out here. Dude, I'm playing fucking Crossy Road right now, but I'm just dodging poop. After 2 hours and 20 minutes on the ripstick, it was time to go to the gym. But anyways, I don't feel like riding this ripstick all the way to the gym, so I'm just gonna throw this ender pearl that I have saved from my last attempt, and I'll see you guys there. Whoa, where am I? Wait a minute, am I in the middle of a police shootout? Dude, is this the fucking back of a bang bus? Quick, before I get banned! Whoa, okay, all right, we made it to the gym. Also, my hoodie changed, but I made it to the gym. It's about 1:30, so I have to be there until 3:30. I don't know how much filming I'm gonna do inside of the gym. One, my phone is at about 15%, and number two, not everybody wants to be on film. Also, I'm still very hungry. At this point, I've only had electrolytes and 200 calories to eat. Just not enough, just not enough. I have a feeling I'm gonna have a mid-workout, but I don't wanna manifest it. As I said, I don't like filming in public gyms, but I did a push day consisting of bench press, overhead press, cable flies, overhead tricep extensions supersetted with lateral raises, and tricep pushdowns. Once I was done, I had a bit of extra time and filled the rest in on the treadmill. I'm gonna have to say that one is gonna go in my top 10 worst workouts I've ever had. I just want some fucking food, bruh. But now, before I eat, I have to do another 9 miles on the ripstick, which it's gonna be 5:30 before I eat lunch. I don't know if this guy has a fucking time machine or how he was able to do this much volume this quickly. But yeah, I'm probably rambled enough. I'll see you guys at the park. Here we go again. Once I got to the park, I was starting to get a little better at riding it, so my speed was picking up. I was feeling so good about it, I even stopped for a few minutes to try to learn a trick to show off on camera, but I couldn't even do the first one that a literal child was showing off on YouTube. That little girl made it look so easy, dude. Alright guys, I'm wasting time. I can't try and learn these tricks right now, I'll be here all night. But after another 2 hours and 9 miles later, I finished my second ride and it was nearly 6 p.m., meaning that the sun was already setting and I was just now eating lunch. Okay, finally, what I've been waiting for, it's now lunchtime. It's 6 p.m. And Danny's lunch consists of a chicken breast. I'm picking the biggest fucking chicken breast in here. A single chicken breast. He has a cup of broccoli and 10 spears of asparagus. This is 300 calories. Danny, you're killing me, dude. But there was still more. I finished up cooking my lunch, sat down to eat it, and got ready for my last bit of exercise. At this point, Danny counted his calories in and his calories out and calculated how much more he needed to burn before he reached a deficit of at least 3,500 calories, which is 1 pound of weight loss. So after I finished this lunch, which was my last meal of the day, I had only consumed 700 calories. To be in a 1 pound deficit, I needed to burn 4,200 calories for the whole day. At this point, I had already reached that, but in Danny's never give up attitude, I went out for one final hour-long walk and gave some final thoughts. But before I get to that last workout, there's one more thing I want to talk about. I used to watch every single episode of this show. I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen Biggest Loser. Very popular, and I just can't help but feel like this whole show is horrible. It's horrible for the contestants because they never keep the weight off. Who would have guessed that this isn't sustainable? It's horrible for the people at home who are watching, who then might think that 22 pounds is a normal weight loss for a single week. Anyways, I have one final workout, one final walk, and then I can rest. I did my last walk, putting my grand total calories burnt according to my Fitbit at 4,800 calories. I walked over 31,000 steps and exercised a total of 7.5 hours. Waking up the next day, it was time to see how much weight both attempts had me lose. It's no surprise that this routine made me lose weight, but that still doesn't answer the question as to why none of the contestants could keep the weight off during The Biggest Loser. Well, simply put, it's because they didn't learn how to lose weight the right way. They learned how to exercise all day, every day for a few months. They learned how to lose an unhealthy amount of weight very quickly, likely being miserable the entire time. But once the show was over, they had no trainer and no understanding of how to implement small changes to a normal lifestyle to keep it off. Combined with the ridiculous amount of burnout they experienced for months, some contestants fell straight back into old habits literally hours after the show.
I was eating a cheeseburger and fries and ribs, right after the final weigh-in.
And it's fair to assume that some contestants just never got back on track. But what about Danny Cahill, the guy whose routine I followed? Danny was also a victim of The Biggest Loser's dangerous weight loss training. After losing 239 pounds in 7 months, he regained more than 100 pounds back just a few years after, and while his exact weight today isn't public, given recent videos on his YouTube channel, it's possible that he regained the entire 239 pounds back too. But fast forward to today, where he posts pictures of him eating junk food, drinking beer, and putting butter on Pop-Tarts on his Instagram. And if you're like me wondering if the weight regained is the fault of the show for their dangerous practices or the fault of the contestants for going back to their old habits, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle.
Subscribe.
Do you know your previous weight was 184 pounds? Your current weight is? I thought it was a good number. What am I missing?
I mean,
A 4?
for Gina's a 6. Gina's a 7.
She's an 8. She's a
high.
9.
Yeah.
That's not a Gina number.
That's not a Gina number.
That's what happens when chaos, distractions, confusion get in your way. You'll get a number that's not a Gina number.